the movie concept.
Okay, yeah, I would like to hear it because first of all, I'm not.
Shut up.
But no, I have. I have one question.
Can I like channel mute him?
Did you stop that? Did you read Watership Down?
Yes.
All right, so you know that there was no cocaine.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that was our point.
We can now proceed with the real conversation.
So,
oh my gosh.
the point was
spoilers.
No, this isn't a spoiler. It's
about the cocaine.
Okay. The actual halfway decent movie concept is Scarface, except with cats.
That's not at all what I proposed.
You said no, Jathan. You said cats running cocaine.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
But also, then you said like Watership Down, and that's where we lost you.
Okay, you didn't let me fully explain myself, but in Watership Down, they had a very intricate system of tunnels, and you see the cats are also burrowing.
Oh my god!
So, to Radio Statler, the podcast.
So, The Great Escape?
No, you're thinking of Aristocats now.
Pablo Escobar?
There's a lot of movies that involve intricate systems of tunnels.
Yeah, but not with cats.
Not Watership Down.
Yeah, but Watership Down's the only one that matters.
That's because cats don't dig. Cats don't burrow.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
No, they do not burrow.
When's the last time you asked your cat how he got his meth?
He was ejected with it, probably.
Okay, but where did it come from?
So I have. I guess that requires some explanation. I have a cat. His name is Meth Cat. And like he's missing like half his teeth and everything.
Well, the name of course he doesn't.
Wait, no, real talk. He was a rescue from a meth lab, and our theory, we weren't the ones that rescued him, but our theory is that they would test batches on him somehow.
No, nobody.
I don't know if that's true or not,
no.
But whatever.
Not.
Well, I've got to be honest. If I was running,
I'm pretty sure
so he's just a
BS.
really fucked up cat. Then.
But he was almost definitely exposed to methamphetamine or at least precursors.
And probably he's a weird ass fucking cat.
Okay. Not everybody who does meth is weird.
No, I think everybody.
I think one gives birth to the other.
I think we can say.
You might not start out weird on meth, but
I think you got to be weird to do meth in the first place.
Yeah,
that might be true.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
And I used to give my cat a lot of drugs, and the tiniest amount of drugs is enough for a cat. Like, there's no cat was just hanging out in a meth lab, just getting shot up with shit all the time. Like,
it would be dead.
Well, like, even people who work in meth labs aren't great with like accurate
quality control, right? Right. So it was probably just exposure, if anything. But the cat's fucked up, is my point.
Cats are also just weird. I don't know if you
true. That's true. But he's very non-cattish though, so I don't know.
I mean, that could mean a lot of things. We're training one of my cats to shake hands, so I mean...
Oh, I thought you were going to say to do cocaine.
No. Really?
Good. That could be cocaine. A star.
Can he use the toilet? Peaches?
No, I have not trained my cat to use the toilet.
I wouldn't teach it to do that first.
Right. Then you teach it to shake hands.
I think there's a bunch of reasons why I wouldn't want to share toilets with my cat.
Well, I think it's more that the cat wouldn't want to share a toilet with you.
Oh, well, also, like, cats dig around in their own filth by nature.
This one does not, actually.
Making it shake. It walks into the litter box, probably.
It walks into the litter box and then does everything that it possibly can do to not cover its own poop.
Okay, so if I went in the litter box and just, like, mashed my hand around and then went to shake your hand, you'd be like, yeah, good, and then give me a treat. Boy.
Apparently that's how we're doing it. Usually it's not like right after. It's usually not that they've gotten done with doing the business and then we do training.
But how do you know where they're really coming from? Like, he walks into the room. You don't know where he was.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a fair point.
Anytime a cat walks into the room, you should immediately be suspicious of what it were.
That's also true. Oh, Johnny, I made that that caliper attachment for you.
Oh yeah. All right. Do you want to send it over?
I mean,
Wait till hope.
it's just a little tiny thing in this little tiny envelope, so
All right.
seems a little bit silly to. There you go.
I'm pretty sure we haven't gotten the internet to work like that yet, guys.
Damn.
2018.
2018, you still have to physically ship
We
things.
have an
We
electric
do have
scissor.
we
And
do
I-
have short distance teleportation though.
Yeah. So like
Have that?
this
Yeah.
is
So you just need to short distance teleport something a lot of times.
Just set up a bunch of relays and have someone move it from like one teleportation spot to the next, and then
I
just
don't want no short distance teleportation.
you want to go to the fucking moon.
It's well, so like the short distance, isn't it like micrometers?
I mean, yeah,
So
we're talking like a
it's a lot of
displacement in
relays.
position of like a
that
very
was the
small
point
amount.
that I was trying to make.
Isn't that just that's how electricity works? And the copper atoms are just relays for the teleporting atoms. Then
Right.
Well,
but
for the
but can you
electrons.
do it with like
For the
an
electrons.
actual material object though?
so all they've done is just rebranded electricity.
Wait, are we
Well,
going to
wait.
start recording?
They turned
Oh, we
the
did.
matter into
Oh.
energy, and then that energy was transported and then reassembled back into matter. That was the. At least I think that's the general theory behind it.
If you could turn me into energy, please don't transfer me back.
Yeah, getting you into. I'm pretty sure this whole process doesn't work so hot with organic things.
I think it
Getting
doesn't
you
work
there
with
is
anything more than a single atom. I think
Right.
that's the deal.
It gets immensely more complicated. No. Converting you into energy is the easy part.
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
the
anyone.
converting back is
You convert
the
people
really
into
hard
energy
part.
and carbon
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that anyway, Johnny.
Yeah.
We already have the technology to do that.
This is the most highbrow version of Burn the Witch I've ever heard. I feel like that's the direction we're headed with this.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much
Okay.
where we were going with that.
I like burning shit. I'm just throwing it out there.
Why am I the witch?
Thank you for yet another contribution.
Contributing.
Peaches, did you start recording again?
Yeah.
Okay.
We recorded. You remember when I defeatedly said "Welcome to the Radio Statler podcast"?
Yes.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell if that
a few
was
seconds before that. When you
Wait,
were
okay.
What?
Was I saying
when
something
we started having the discussion as to how we should actually implement cat smuggling meth.
Yeah.
No,
It's cocaine. It's different.
Wasn't a discussion
That's
of
fair. It
it
was
was
cocaine.
Meth is
It
too
was some
readily
kind of
accessible.
oh my god.
I bet it's easier to
See-
put powder in your butthole than like.
No,
glass.
No, you're missing the point. The demand for meth is pretty localized, and it's also easy to fabricate within the confines of the U.S. What you really need to do is find someone in a country that grows coca, and then have them either process it there, or to keep costs down, import the coca, and then from there in the U.S. that is when you process it into cocaine. The problem is you can't really easily maintain a coca crop in the U.S. The region weather is just it's not really appropriate for it.
I mean, South Florida, maybe.
I'm impressed by your accent mostly.
We
Cocaine, yeah. Meanwhile, everyone who actually is Colombian or something is shouting at me, be like, "That was fucking terrible."
It's probably good my friend didn't come.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, is she Colombian?
No, she's Mexican.
This is
What?
the podcast. Yeah, so there's not the Mexicans aren't on the internet, so there's a strict.
Johnny,
Oh my god.
Johnny, I recently feel
You're
there are at least some Mexicans on the internet.
welcome to prove me wrong. Porn sites
No,
don't count.
no. Okay, real talk. Mexicans. I think what Johnny's trying to say is Mexicans in 2018 are girls in 2000. They just aren't on the internet, and anyone who says they are is lying. Or a dog.
Whoever said any of that?
Jathan, you may not remember, but one of the first memes in internet culture was that there are no girls on the internet.
It was girls and
This
black.
may be before your time.
Was it girls and black people? Is that really both of those
I didn't
things?
hear.
I remember
I never heard black people not being on the internet.
I worked
I
at.
only heard girls not being on the internet.
I worked at a
So
computer.
we're just going. So you guys are just going
Hold
for
on.
let's insult every single.
No, it's not.
Hey
insulting,
guys,
it's-
we're
it's-
South Park now.
There you go. Just
All right,
everyone.
can we let Johnny actually tell his story about
Yes,
working
sorry,
at a
Johnny,
computer
sorry.
store,
It just keeps going down that same path.
us becoming South Park?
So, like, I used to work at a computer retail store, and our one Macintosh salesperson was black, and I ran into him like on IRC somewhere one day, and I was like, "Holy shit, what are you doing here?" And then his response was, "Oh, I'm the black guy on the internet." I was like, "You're famous," and this was like 1999,
Oh man.
AOL 4.0.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. I remember
Okay.
when having AOL was cool. That's how old I am.
Oh,
I remember.
That was
For
before
email
the
or, like-
stigmatization, before AOL connected you to Usenet, before it went to shit. Back when it was actually like envious, something to be envious of.
1987.
Yeah.
That's the year you were born,
I
right?
was young. No, I wasn't born in '87. I'm not telling you when I was born because
Did-
we're on
Did you
public
guys see
air.
the thing- have you guys seen the thing
But-
that was going for a while that I invented Bitcoin?
No, I haven't seen that, but that's hilarious.
Wait, so you got people convinced that you invented
No,
Bitcoin?
it turned up on what's that like social media like site that like gathers all your data and then presents it in one long form like an internet resume almost.
That's a thing.
Oh,
No, there's
You're
there's
gonna
a
have to
couple
be
I
more
thought.
specific than that, Johnny.
it's like an internet aggregation. I'm trying to find it because apparently more
There's a-
than I thought.
There's a ton. I don't know if you're. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're really gonna have to be a lot more specific, Johnny.
What's that website?
The one with the stuff on it.
Yeah, you know, like with the www at the front, and then probably some TLD like .com.
Crunchbase? Crunchbase sounds right. Do you guys know Crunchbase? It
Never
is.
heard of that.
So it's a thing that like trolls through all your stuff and then like tries to assemble information about you, like a website, where you're at, what your gender is, and notable things you've done, places you've worked. So it's kind of like you can look a person up on there and find out stuff about them that they may not necessarily have been telling you.
Mhm.
For a while in my Twitter account, I had put like inventor of Bitcoin in my
Oh yeah, in your bio.
yeah, and so, like that turned up on Crunchbase, and so like a lot of people, like when I would go speak somewhere, they would Google my name, and then like Crunchbase is like one of the first non-news article hits that comes up on me, and so they look and they're like, oh fuck, he's Satoshi.
I've cracked the case.
Yeah, he's right there. Nobody can find him, and yet he's incredibly active on the internet on a minute basis.
Why didn't they just do a Google?
No, I must
They
have been
did.
the first person who Googled.
Oh my god, it's still there! Johnny
Oh, really?
Johnny Xmas, security researcher, location, regions, genders male, website github.com/JohnnyXmas/TalkDex. It links to your Twitter, and then Johnny Xmas is a speaker and inventor of Bitcoin.
Bravo.
So like,
Bravo.
Number of current jobs 1. Uptake as a security researcher.
I wish that was the case.
That is hilarious.
Recent news and activity. Activity
Here on my
July
side.
29th, 2016. This is recent, everybody. Johnny Xmas, TechCrunch, TSA key cracker Johnny Xmas tells us how to stay safe while traveling.
I did no such thing.
So,
I
funny
told
thing
Nobody how to
is,
stay safe
you're
from-
actually in there twice.
Oh, nice.
Where
So
else
you're
is he?
there as Johnny Xmas, and you're there as Johnny Christmas.
I looked for Johnny Christmas and it didn't come up with anything.
It came up as the second suggestion just when I was typing it in.
I'm just not in there, so that's kind of a bummer.
When I type
I'm
Johnny,
not in there either.
comes up.
Mine should say manager.
No, you're
Trainee
not,
manager.
You're not a manager.
There it is.
You're not even a manager in training. You are someone in operations who has taken management training. That's what
So this
you
one
are.
just got added from my RSA profile. What's funny, like Johnny Christmas, which has a more recent photo and more recent information, is ranked to 650,000, whatever that means. Johnny Xmas, which is very old information, is ranked 27,000. I guess I have to average the two. So anyway, like I would go, especially at universities, I would go speak there, and like invariably when I do Q&A at the end, there's some kid who's like has a blockchain question, even though my talk had nothing to do with blockchain, and I know why.
I
thinks that
am not even finding myself on this.
Yeah, I looked for you too. I couldn't find you.
You creepy motherfucker.
Well, I want to know
Which
if
is
you're on there and I'm not, because I'm a goddamn manager.
Because like I
I'm
have
not on
terrible
there.
OPSEC.
Did you look
I'll
up
be the first
beaches?
I looked up
I
beaches and there's not me. I looked up my given name, also not me.
I had a reason for telling that story that I forgot now.
Sorry.
Do you still do speaking engagements at universities?
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I work for a university. I'm being serious.
Oh yeah, I've done like 3 this year already.
Well, I mean, I don't follow your life that closely.
You don't follow my complete lack of a blog or any sort of place where you can figure out what I do at all.
I follow like 1/3 of your tweets, and that's about the extent of it.
It's more than I follow.
Good for you.
Yeah, I do not show up at all on this. This is beautiful. I like it.
Nope, I don't show up on there either.
Yeah, if you want me to come to your university, hit me up.
Okay, I'll.
Big Monkey. If you have a zip code, I will be there.
I've got a pretty cool zip code.
Why would he not have a zip code?
Because he doesn't.
I mean, I guess if he was outside of the US.
I mean, if he's outside the U.S., yeah.
He's in an if he's on Native American soil.
Do they not have mail?
They don't have postal codes?
The USPS only delivers to the United States residents,
That sounds really exclusive.
so they all have to get PO boxes.
Wow.
It's kind of messed up.
I mean,
Yeah.
we don't screw around. Like, you know, you don't half-ass
Yeah.
assholery.
That's true. Well,
You
what
don't,
about
like, you're gonna break into someone's house and then declare it yours. You don't like still let them come get their mail.
That's actually not funny because it's pretty fucked up, but
Better
Yeah.
figure out how to get your mail. I just keep
what
it-
about intentional encampments, I guess, like the Amish community?
there. It's still U.S. soil.
Yeah.
Like they still
they're
pay
not US
property
citizens,
taxes
right?
and stuff.
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they totally are, man.
They
Yeah.
have
I thought
We
I
I
use
thought
the
they don't
Amish
pay
word-
taxes at all.
no. They own that
Amish
land. They
still
pay
US
property taxes. They are U.S. residents. Yeah.
No shit.
You live in
Yeah.
one of the states with like the largest Amish.
I know.
Wow.
But I'm also like
You're
2
the-
hours away from
You're
it.
objectively the worst.
So wait a second. Are there
I don't know, Johnny.
Amish people who don't live in the United States?
No.
Yeah.
There's
Probably. I'd imagine.
No.
I,
'cause
Why wouldn't there be?
I don't
Once you
know.
leave the US, you're no longer Amish.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's a very specific sect of Christianity, right?
Amish?
Is that
Amish
even
or
true?
Mennonite?
They
Amish or Mennonite?
Amish,
yeah, there's a difference
specifically.
between Amish and Mennonite. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. Because, you know, some of us who spent time in that one state, like, know what we're talking about.
I feel like the Amish are more tied to their Dutch heritage than the Mennonites are.
So you think they live in
Well, I mean,
Dutchland?
the Amish are,
Deutschland.
it's kind of difficult to be Amish outside of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. But when you have that secluded of a community in the first place,
It's not that secluded. You can be driving down the street in your perfectly fine pickup truck, and they're just on the street in their buggy. That's not that
no,
secluded.
but they don't live on the street in their buggy, Jathan.
You don't know. If a homeless person, if an Amish person is homeless, they might
Have you
live in
ever
their buggy.
seen a homeless
You do.
omelet? A
You do.
homeless Amish person.
A homeless omelet, yeah.
How would you
Funny.
know?
Oh my gosh.
What? They could be homeless if they want.
Sure.
Well, technically, they're all
Sure.
homeless because none of them own their homes. It's owned by the community as a whole.
Mm.
Is that
Oh,
true?
yeah.
So, like, because they all pool all of their money together into the community fund, and then it's just used to go towards whoever in the community needs it. Like,
I am low key.
You know what? Actually, there are Amish outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that makes
specifically
sense. It's not like-
in Canada.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
oh, Canada.
And
Forgot about them.
Ireland,
all
and
places.
Argentina, and Bolivia,
Whoa.
and Mexico.
I was just about to ask, are there any Mexican Amish? But
There
apparently
are.
there are.
Mexico.
That is surprising.
As
or they could be.
3 years ago.
How do you know they're Mexican? Maybe they're American Amish who moved.
Jathan,
No. Actually, the Mexican settlement, the Mexican Amish settlement collapsed in 1929. Sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Rough times.
It
There was an Amish settlement in Honduras
It collapsed.
until 1978. That one failed.
Mhm.
But as of 2015, there were settlements in Argentina and Bolivia.
And they
The
collapsed.
last mainland Europe Amish congregation joined the Mennonites in 1937 in Germany.
Mhm.
So
That makes sense.
the only Amish left in Europe are in Ireland.
Wait, the only Amish left? Oh, in Europe.
In
Right,
Europe.
I missed. My brain skipped over that part, and I was like, "No, wait a minute." I also know that they are scattered throughout the West Coast. There's some in California.
Yeah.
Which is like I'm
31
confused
states.
as to what conditions would lead to that.
31 states.
It's a good number.
Yeah.
Somewhere in here, list of U.S. states by Amish population. There we go.
I love the internet. Like,
It's the best place. Everything you could want to know about the
I can-
Amish and also porn.
I can tell you,
You're on
I woke up this morning. I did
elevator.
not expect to be learning about which states, sorted by population, had Amish communities living within them.
So, in
If you had some Amish porn, how would you know?
descending order, Pennsylvania,
It's-
Ohio,
it's just
Indiana, Wisconsin, New York, Michigan, Missouri, Kentucky, Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, Tennessee, Kansas, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, Montana, Maine, Oklahoma, Colorado, Nebraska, Mississippi, West Virginia, Arkansas, North Carolina, Wyoming, Florida, South Dakota, Idaho, Texas, and Vermont.
Literally every state no one cares about.
Okay.
I am surprised by the Tennessee one.
Why are you
I-
surprised by Tennessee?
I'm always
I hear
Tennessee
Amish and I
has
don't
that's a
think
pretty
Tennessee.
decent-sized population.
a lot.
There's
Yeah, yeah, it
As
does.
of,
I mean,
as of
it's
the
fairly large.
2017 census, there were over 3,000 Amish in Tennessee.
I mean, Brent, have you?
I'm actually more surprised by California because
Why? Oh no. Crap. I have the worst internet connection. One Mississippi, two. No. Fuck. Ah. Ah. Okay. Mm.
It was like their flagship model.
Yeah, I don't. There's one that Time Warner now.
Peaches, you're in here
Spectrum.
twice.
I'm in
Used
here
to-
twice. I don't see me in here twice. Oh, I see me in
Yeah.
here twice.
Twice.
Look at how tiny that beard is.
How
Yeah.
spoops?
So tiny. But yeah, we were just talking about your shitty modem.
I just replaced it like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah. They probably gave you one that had been refurbished.
I bought one new from Micro Center. I drove to Micro Center and bought one myself.
Uh-huh.
Yes, seriously.
There is an open recall on my laptop, and the only place I can go get it checked out is Micro Center, and the only one that is in this fucking state is like 2 hours away.
Nice.
QQ more? I mean, that's not terrible.
What?
2 hours? So they can tell me, like, oh, this one doesn't have a loose screw, you're good. That's pretty
Guys,
shitty.
I need to confess something.
Yeah.
I think Fry's Electronics isn't all that good and wasn't all that good.
I've never been to a Fry's, so I cannot agree or disagree.
Now that there's not a Radio Shack,
Wait, what do you need to get?
it's an electronic. It's a component store that also has microwaves, and it's
Um,
just,
Yeah,
You
that's
can-
it's the only
pretty
place
accurate.
where you can like go to a physical store same day and pick up resistors because Micro Center's got an okay selection, but if you need something weird,
Well,
you're
I mean,
just specialized, you're just kind of out of luck. Like if you need anything that's outside of the realm of like screwing around as a hobby, Fry's is where you got to go.
right.
The place sucks. I hate it. I hate going in there. I hate talking to every single human being who works there. But they're the only place you can
What
visit.
was that?
Is that your cat?
That's the cat.
Now?
No, it's my roommate who's playing some fucking video game. I don't know.
Right, but is he singing?
I don't know. Michael, I told you before. Shut the fuck up.
Is that part of the game? That's the question.
Fuck.
I think he's playing the game with the submarine.
The
That's
game
super
with the
unhelpful.
submarine.
You know, the one where you're like underwater exploring things and you have to like
Oh.
live your life.
Oh, God.
That's not really helpful.
That's still not.
No, like they
Do
give
you
like
mean Subnautica, Jathan?
people in the Navy get like extra pay for that because it's so interesting. How is that a game?
People are weird,
I
man.
don't think it's actually.
Somebody else for that.
If he is talking about Subnautica, that I can understand. It does.
Yeah,
look creepy.
I am.
never played it, but okay.
Is that like that sounds like
I'm amazed I could figure that out
Is
based
that
on the very little amount of
done
information.
without the good parts?
So you're actually your quote unquote submarine is actually an escape pod from spaceship, and you're underwater on an alien planet. It's like it's not survival really, but it's like resource management kind of, but first person. I don't know. It looks kind of cool.
That sounds
Anyways.
really awful.
I mean, I hate resource management games, but
Like, My
they
favorite
are
part
great.
about resource management games is always how the people who are really into them are terrible at managing their own personal life.
Jathan, can you confirm or deny this?
What? I don't even play video games at this point.
No, but you live with a guy who plays resource management games,
I don't talk to him.
or at least one.
I think the very fact that the guy
I think that's answer enough right there.
I don't talk with him.
He stays in his
my
room all the time and
roommate.
he things or some shit.
the guy needs a roommate just to get by, I think there's your answer.
And
I
won't
mean,
even
on the flip side, that also means that Jathan needs some a roommate
Nope.
to get by.
I lived by myself until I started, you know,
Living with someone
living
else.
with someone else. And I
mean,
could.
That's usually how that works.
Was this?
I was
this,
not
it's like a
alive
binary
until I was
state.
suddenly alive.
I mean, was this sometime around the thing with the person who had the small cocaine problem?
I did go on the date with them while I was living by myself.
All cocaine small?
What, your roommate?
No. What are you saying? I went on a date with the person with the small cocaine problem when I was living by myself.
And
And
now
that's when you
are
invited
not
them to
living
live
by
with
yourself.
you. And...
No, it's not my roommate.
His
He's a
roommate is
dude.
not the girl that has the small cocaine problem. Guys, get it together.
What if she's listening right now?
Oh,
Well,
What
okay.
if...
I'm going to correct you.
Then
We no
it-
longer do this live. If they were listening to us right now, they would literally have to be either on the Hangout or in somebody's house.
She could be in my house. What if the cat let her in?
you could be here. I got a ton of girls' clothes behind me. That might be
There you
hers.
go.
Yeah, why is that? Is that yours?
No, I'm not home. I'm out on a gig.
You're on the
Okay. Question: has anyone ever seen like the urban ghillie suits?
Does it just look like a road?
No,
I have one. You guys
they
get it.
they're
saw-
like
Hang on, I have a
they're
picture.
patterned. Yeah, they're patterned to. It's mostly a joke, admittedly, but they're patterned to look like cement.
Here,
What does this have to do with anything that just happened?
I'm getting there, Jathan. What
He's
if
working at it.
we could create like a residential ghillie suit by just stapling a bunch of clothes onto a ghillie suit mesh, and then that way you could hide amongst dirty laundry.
That would be like a retail store ghillie. You should do that.
Oh my god, you could hide in the clothes rack so well.
Never
Right?
tell.
You could take out so many old women.
Jathan, I don't want to be shooting
And
anyone.
already,
Like on a date.
It depends.
No.
I think it depends what you say when you pop out of the
If
rack.
he needs to ghost somebody, he puts on his retail, goes and hides in the Gap until his date's like, it's like, hey, honey, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then he like disappears. Where did
6 hours
Nathan
later, he's still
go?
there. The store's closed, and he's locked in for the night.
That wouldn't be that bad. Gap probably has some edible stuff.
It's a clothing store.
Yeah, I know what Gap is.
You could eat Crocs, I guess. I mean,
Right, you could boil the
they're
Crocs.
edible. They
There's a
don't
lot of
provide
things that
any
are
nutritional value whatsoever, but they're
Well,
non-toxic.
That's
Well, as long as I'm not feeling very hungry.
wait.
Right,
So-
like sucking on a button.
Hey,
Hey,
you can eat a lot of things that aren't food.
That is
I-
true.
I dislike how ominous that sounded.
You also, however, usually need a way to prepare it.
Now,
Well,
Here-
maybe.
can you see this?
No.
Very
I feel like that
loose.
wouldn't be
not well.
Yeah.
crazy looking.
Is that a disco ball?
It's the suit is a disco ball, and I have one.
You have one of those?
You should wear it to Hope.
I'll bring it. I bring it to most cons. It's
There you go.
Like, just in case.
somebody look it up. It's the Beta brand disco pants and hoodie, and they just released a black one, and I'm super excited because it's like opaque, mirror black.
How is it like square sequence? Like what? It just looks uncomfortable.
Oh, they have some
That's
very
not
interesting
wearing
clothes.
A dog?
It's for one, it's lined. Like you can.
Oh, okay, right.
It's also expensive
Still,
as
your-
shit.
your-
Oh
your
yeah.
hand would, like, rest against.
What,
For 11 years.
$130?
Yeah.
It's like a
Um,
jacket, right?
Wait, is there like a dress code at Hope? Like, could I wear a morph suit for 3 days?
Who's
I
asking?
thought you've been to Hope.
You've been there. How do you not know what the dress code is?
Well, I didn't see anybody in a morph suit, so it's unclear to me.
that doesn't mean
You-
that
you
you
cl-
can't
well,
not
clearly it
wear a
would
morph
work.
suit.
Because
I mean, generally,
the
as
real
long
question
as
is,
it
do we
doesn't
want
Oh
to
my
see
god, what is this?
statutes of the city and state of New York, you're usually okay.
Alright,
Okay.
hold on. I have to share my screen.
Uh huh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why is that like the promo picture underneath?
What the fuck is this? This is fine. This is okay. What the fuck? Are we invading the planet Earth from Mars? Is that the intention of this hoodie?
It's Subnautica beaches.
Marketing it to lizard people.
Real talk, I think there is like a gun model in Subnautica that looks a lot like that gun.
Why do you know so much about Subnautica?
Because I've seen like playthroughs and stuff of it. I've seen
He's
like
seen
promotional
it,
stuff.
man.
I've seen it.
I'm pretty sure we're invading something at this point. Look at that.
That guy doesn't look smart enough to invade anything.
You need some cannon fodder, Jathan.
Wouldn't wearing that make people think you're trying to signal them?
For what?
I guess if you're laying on the beach in the shape of the word help.
No,
Please-
like
please
if you're
don't.
on a
You
ship,
realize
Yeah.
that a lot of emergency signaling is done with mirrors.
yes.
So, like, how reflective actually is this disco hoodie?
How many lumens can it reflect? What's
it's,
the absorption rate?
It's actually real. It strikes a really good balance in that it's very obviously reflective, but also isn't like obnoxious to be near. Like it doesn't. It's not like a disco ball where it constantly blinds you, but it's also definitely like you can see it across a very long room. Like it's extremely noticeable and yet like doesn't blind you.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a little disappointing.
Beaches,
That's
I'm really
an
glad.
awkward angle.
I'm really glad that you still have GovLove open, by the way.
Did you get the MP3 rip of it?
I did just buy the matching vest on eBay.
They have a matching vest?
Yeah, they have a whole tuxedo.
For
They have
the
shorts!
formal occasions.
Yeah, they have
This
shorts.
is insane.
Oh, look
Can
at
you
that.
get the mask?
Do they sell a mask?
Fuck out of here.
He's wearing a mask.
He's wearing look at that mask.
Where? What are you looking at? What are you?
Look at my screen.
Oh, yeah. Here, hang on.
Johnny, you're killing us.
I haven't.
Killing me, Smalls.
Johnny, this is all
For nerds. Speaking of Smalls, Twitch is streaming all of home movies tonight.
Are they?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, with like commentary and stuff. Like
Oh, that sounds awesome.
there's
I'll
like
have to get on that.
like a bunch of people who worked on it are streaming it and talking about it.
That's
If you're
awesome.
into movies, which you should be, because it's one of the greatest cartoons ever made.
Yes, it is.
On it.
Ooh. Machine wash cold on the gentle cycle. Line dry. Cool iron if needed. Non-disco side only. Oh,
Yeah,
it's reversible. Look at that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then you just have a black hoodie.
I mean, sure, but maybe you need to go incognito. What if you're on that date and you need to blend in with the rag? So,
Why did you
know,
bring it?
Because you didn't know if you were going to party later.
Yeah.
What?
You went for a party and then,
Johnny, Johnny, this is
Really?
the problem that only you have.
You really didn't know if you were gonna party later.
Maybe. Never mind. I should not talk about this.
You really shouldn't. So,
what are these other colors?
why don't we talk about something that isn't insane?
Okay.
We
it
could
comes
talk-
in purple. Oh, that's nice.
Why?
Oh, gold. That's some bling bling. Oh, copper.
How does one wash this garment?
We just went over that.
We literally just went over that.
Sorry, I was
Machine
spaced
wash
out.
cold on the gentle cycle.
I
Oh,
find
okay.
Line dry with a
ladies,
cool iron on the non-disco side.
I find ladies enjoy a man's musk from a years old unwashed garment.
Okay, Johnny.
These promo shots are so fucking weird.
Yeah, like why was that one guy in
that's
front of
beautiful.
That is fucking straight up.
That is
him.
classic.
All
Finally,
about that.
one that actually makes sense.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny because you're all making fun of me, but you want it.
Oh yeah, I
Nope.
totally want one.
No, I think I'm okay with that
I'm
one.
good.
Anyway,
Brent.
Jathan, if you want to wear a morph suit for 3 days, just make sure that you either wash it or buy 3 morph suits.
Really, you only gotta wash like the pits and crotch.
I mean, that's probably fair unless you spill something on it.
No,
The question though is are you going to be wearing a morph suit, just a morph suit, or are you going to like wear clothing on top of it?
No, just a morph suit.
He's going to put on a morph suit and then put on enough clothing to where you don't know he's wearing the morph suit.
Except
Also, do you call it a morph suit because of Power Rangers?
no, that's usually what they're marketed as.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, because they're used in like CGI and shit.
What
know
is
what's-
it? Morphing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Walmart, $9.99
Oh,
plus
what?
size, full
That's the
body
name.
spandex bodysuit.
So,
Or if I can get it at Walmart, then I'll
Donnie.
definitely get 3.
Donnie, the reason is because it's made by it. The original ones are made by a company called Morph Costumes.
Yeah, I'm looking right
Oh.
at it. Yeah, that's
Oh,
why.
but they actually make a Power Ranger morph suit now.
Like,
That's
I don't
not
know.
even meta. That's
Is
just
it what don't they have like some kind of Japanese name like Zubatsu?
Zentai.
Zentai, yes. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
thinking.
gosh.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
Oh,
A
this is
bit-
beautiful. Original morph suit, fancy dress costume. Price $15.98 to $81.10.
Wait. Hold on. I have questions. What? How do you make a price jump like that?
Oh.
It's because Green Man from Always Sunny overpopularized them, and now.
Mm.
What's your spaghetti policy?
Spaghetti policy?
what?
What even does spaghetti policy mean?
It's Always Sunny reference.
Oh. I should really get around to finishing watching that.
So, I don't know. In less insane news, did anyone see that Wired story about Ray
Oh my
Ozzy
God.
and
Do you guys want to hear something great?
Is it actually great?
Is your
Is it
roommate
relevant?
leaving?
Brenda just texted me and said, "Were we supposed to hang out tonight?"
Is Brenda the cat?
No,
No.
Julius is the cat,
Okay.
and he left. I
See,
don't know
Brenda,
where
from
he
my
went.
understanding, was
your
supposed
cat
to join
won't
us.
stay with you. That's a sign, man.
Did you guys see that I got banned from ThoughtCon?
Oh, so what
Okay,
the hell
yeah,
is
what
the
what
story
happened?
on that?
I don't know, but I gotta go.
You have to go?
Yeah,
You legit have to go.
yeah, I legit have to go
Why?
because I actually had a hard stop at 9, and I just realized it's 9:10, and I have to go get on
Oh,
the
shit.
call.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, so talk about me getting
Johnny.
banned from ThoughtCon as I drop that and then
and
take
then
off.
leave. Well, all right.
Yeah, no, that was some stupid stunt that he and ThoughtCon
I
thought was
guess?
funny for some reason.
I don't know. I'm still.
I
confused.
still don't understand.
I don't understand either.
He
It's
he
incredibly
framed it
stupid.
as like a social experiment, but I don't know what it was trying to prove or disprove.
Something stupid and awful.
Okay. Got it.
So, this latest thing in crypto backdoors. Thoughts?
Oh shit. Yeah, let me see.
Latest
Like,
thoughts in terms
like crypto
of
jacking, or
No,
I'm reading the
no,
article
Uh,
the- So, do you remember?
Oh, it was in cryptography.
Ray-
Right,
yes.
hold on.
Oh, I see. You posted a link. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You see, sometimes when people say crypto, they mean the actual
Wait,
word crypto and
because
not
it's
that
been so
crypto
long.
coin bullshit.
It's no cryptocurrency.
Number
I'm
one.
thinking of, but it's been
Number
so
one.
long.
Cryptocurrency bullshit. Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
same thing.
that article does say it's from 2015.
What?
No, it says in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
The article is dated from
04.25.18.
Oh, you're right. All right. You know what? I'm bad at everything. And you guys just accept me as I am.
No.
You must
No.
strive to be better, Jason.
I'm a
We
manager.
have such
That's that's why
important
you're a terrible person.
dreams for you.
That's why you're a terrible person. In order to be a manager, you have to be a terrible person. That's how it works.
That's how you move up the ladder, Jason.
Yeah.
All right. I apologize for interrupting.
So
Managers don't apologize.
Because they're terrible people.
I'm reporting you.
Okay.
You're reporting me?
I actually think that our podcast, like Sysadmin Trivia, could probably use its own HR person for several instances.
We've gotten a little rowdy sometimes, yeah.
Like the last shit show with the whole duck thing was overboard.
Agreed.
Look, I don't
Like
know.
I wanted to make it so clear while we were still talking about that like I was not endorsing us talking about it anymore.
I think you can tell because of how
talking about that.
Well, I
Finally,
love-
Jathan brought it up.
opportunity to talk about it again.
Jathan brought it up as he did this time.
So,
No, I love
Jathan,
ducks.
what is it with you and...
He loves ducks.
I do. I really love ducks. All of my
But do
backgrounds
they
on
love
all
you
my
back,
computers.
Jathan? Because if they don't, you're not allowed.
I don't do that with
That's
them.
all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Oh my god, it's not like that. That's not
Yeah.
love. That's lust. That's different.
Oh my god.
My God.
I think that's the name of this podcast. Is just, oh my god.
I thought it would be about Watership Down, but hey.
You tried to
No,
make it
we
about
were
Watership
recording for
Down,
that.
and it doesn't work.
Yes, it does. You don't
Nope.
understand the book that well.
Oh my god.
Jathan, I don't think.
If the discussion is about narcotics smuggling, it has nothing to do with Watership Down.
They had a very intricate system of tunnels that the cats are now using.
Fuck your tunnels.
That still doesn't.
In your
Still
instance,
doesn't
the
make any
cats
sense.
would need to be the one to dig the tunnels, and cats don't burrow, Jathan. Rabbits do.
Beaches taught his cat how to high five. That's basically burrowing.
That's not burrowing.
That is.
And this has been the Radio Statler podcast.
But he could teach his cat how to burrow if he had enough treats. And
No, cats
stuff.
biologically are not well suited for burrowing.
Can cats burrow? I'm looking this shit up. Why does my cat like to burrow under blankets? See?
No,
Yes.
no,
That's
that
not-
is not what you were talking about.
Okay, the second link is your cat insecure? Surprising signs of insecurity in cats. Okay, let's see if my cat's insecure.
Wait. Can you paste that link in the Google Hangouts chat?
Which one?
The
Meth
the
cat
cat's
is insecure. Meth cat is
Probably.
definitely insecure.
You probably is. The link for the is your cat insecure article.
Yeah, I
He
just
he
did.
just linked it, man.
I don't see it.
Are you looking?
I'm looking. I'm looking right now.
Are you
You
looking
sound-
with your eyeballs?
You sound
No,
just
I
like
see-
Peyton right now,
I see one from you.
and you know
I see
exactly.
two from Night Owl, and that's it.
No, there's only one
all
from
I
Night
see.
Owl.
I see
No,
two
there's
from Night Owl.
two from me.
Not in a row, though.
Well, no.
No, not in a row. It's a Beaches sandwich, and Night Owl is the buns.
Oh my god.
I,
Uh,
I missed this podcast.
I haven't done this in a long time.
I feel like I have more fun on this one than I do on my own podcast.
well, because
Why
this
do
is
I keep
literally the shit show every single fucking time.
That's
why do I
true.
keep showing up to this?
I don't know. I'm not sure why I do either.
But you have to.
I mean, yeah.
And, to be fair, I normally don't show up, but you were like very encouraging. Like, you can do whatever you want on this, and you should show up. Also, bring your friends. So I was like, wow, they really like me. And now I don't feel that way anymore.
Well, that's because we didn't know you were a manager at the time.
Oh shit.
It's what did it, man. It's what did it.
Julius came back.
The cat
Was he
or
burrowing?
Yeah, the cat.
The cat or the orange?
Look at him.
oh yeah, look at that.
That is a cat.
That is
That
indeed
is-
a cat.
You're very astute.
Yes.
Quite an
Congratulations.
observer. I learned it in manager training.
I hate you so much.
Screw you, manager boy.
Beaches, if you have the time,
Hmm.
it would be great if you kept a running tally how many times I tell Jathan I hate him so much.
I don't
Like
think he has time.
specifically in this
In this,
context,
yes.
or like
All
throughout
of
the
time.
entire-
So
all of
we've gotta
time
go
is
back.
astronomical.
We have to go
I
back
just-
through.
We have to
the
go
last
back!
10 years.
We have to go back, Marty.
Marty, we have to go back! What the fuck was
Oh, I just had a really stupid revelation.
Revelation.
Relevation.
that.
Revelation.
What the fuck ever.
Renovation.
Rick and Morty is based on Doc Brown and Marty.
Yeah, it is.
Was that not obvious?
No, that just
Well,
clicked for me.
so-
Literally, like now.
Have you? Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Old scientist dude with
Okay.
crazy hair,
No.
lab coat for no apparent reason.
No. It's even more obvious. If you
Well, having
go
never actually
look
watched
for the original pilot episode called Doc and Marty.
Oh fuck! I've seen it too,
Yeah, that's the
That's the
original
embarrassing part.
pilot.
but I don't remember it.
But yeah, so not necessarily
So
the
I have
original
not-
pilot,
I
but
have
like the
never
first
watched-
episode is
I
pretty
have
much.
never watched any of it, and it's still obvious to me.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like they try to really hide it
Yeah.
per se.
They just
Do you
didn't
think-
feel the need to clearly label everything as here is obviously a Doc
Look,
Brown
it's
animal.
Doc and Marty. Yeah. No.
Do you think Morty's like nervous tics are a dig at Michael J. Fox?
Probably not.
I would hope not. That'd be really.
That'd be
shitty.
really shitty. But no, I think it's just that he's supposed to be like a weird teenager.
Okay.
Jathan, why are
Got
you
it.
on your phone?
Because I might
off
be
your
going
phone.
to get some ice cream.
No, you're not.
All right, you're not my real dad.
Did you? You don't know that, Jathan. Did you bring
I
enough
asked
ice
my
cream
mom-
for the rest of the podcast?
What?
Did you bring
Did you
enough,
bring
ice,
enough
cream
ice cream for the
for
rest
the
of
rest of
us?
the podcast?
You guys are in a different physical place. And also, I want to finish this. I asked my mom, and she said that she would not ever have done that with you.
I just love that you asked her.
I mean, I
Wait,
talked to
did
my
you
mom.
actually ask her?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, Mom, I have some concerns. And she, initially, she was like, shit, I've been waiting for this. And then I started in, and I was like, so Brent has been telling me lately that he's my real dad. And she threw her hands up in the air, and she was like, no. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, my friend.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh. It is so funny to me that you actually asked her.
Dude, I have the best relationship with my mom, and she's the coolest fucking woman ever.
Oh. Oh gosh. Yeah,
I
your
would-
mom is pretty awesome. I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
I feel like, honestly, after Hope, we should, like, have dinner with her or something.
Yeah.
Like, she deserves to know who's been claiming her child.
Yeah. No, she's been good natured with all of our ribbing, so she definitely
And
deserves
she
it.
pimps our podcast.
I didn't know that.
I mean, she talks about it. People don't ever understand because she doesn't understand. She's like, yeah, my son does a thing on the internet. It's pretty cool, I think. Like, check it out.
Why are we talking about our podcast and someone else's, Jathan?
I don't know.
Probably because I'm trying to read something and nobody else is stopping you.
The system is down
There you
right
go.
now.
It's like free publicity.
The system
Oh my God.
is down.
The Jathan is grounded. Yeah, I'm still reading this crypto thing. It's,
Okay, this is...
Oh god,
It's
I'm
very
so
long.
yeah.
It's
I'm not
very,
even, like, halfway
very
through.
long. I think I'm gonna read this later. It's a bit too long to do.
I mean, this was part of the preparatory reading.
We had preparatory reading. I wish somebody had informed me.
In theory, we do. We don't actually, but
I mean, if
Right.
you guys start like listing crap, then sure, we can do that. Also, every time I stop briefly scrolling, it comes up with it's like you should go watch Infinity War. Why aren't you watching Infinity War?
it's not out yet,
Go to yeah, it launches like tonight, dude.
does it?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Beaches every time we touch, I get this feeling. Wait, have you? How active were you in like the '90s happy to be hardcore type stuff scene?
Me?
Yes.
Well, so mid '90s.
Yeah, it was like mid '90s.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't even 10 in the mid '90s.
Damn children.
Yeah, I mean, why should that stop you though?
Surrounded by children.
Why should that stop you?
I mean, I guess that's fair.
You can enjoy hardcore techno at any age.
I mean, that's fair. But there's a question about access to different varieties of music that one does not normally get.
True. I figured on the off chance maybe your parents were into it.
Okay.
And it was your lullaby.
No. No.
Got it. Oh, he's on the phone. Who knows how to who knows how to lip read?
Not me.
Badly. The frame rate doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
Strength of Aussie Systems license. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes down to how safe large corporations will actually secure their private keys.
Yeah.
Which I think, as we've learned, is usually
Not well.
very well.
Yeah, like I'm not convinced.
Especially because I really don't think that this system takes into account the volume and speed at which these types of requests come in.
And how slow encryption, if it's really good, is probably gonna, like, generating a key is gonna, like, if it's a good key, it should have, like, lots of, you know, random input. And the longer you have in churn and take in inputs to put into your cache to crank it out.
Creating the key, they create the key at the time the device is manufactured.
All right.
So the keys are already created.
Well, so it doesn't say. It says an activation of the device.
Speaking of, I'm on Verizon Fios. This is relevant, I promise. I'm on Verizon Fios, and
Okay.
they have a telnet interface for management on the. I know, but they give you the option to enable SSL on it. So SSL tunnel telnet. I'm like, oh, all right, it's better than nothing.
Okay.
And then I turn it on, and I just do a quick little Nmap scan on it and a quick OpenSSLS client on it, and lo and behold, it's using SSL v2, and it's like the ciphers are weak, and the best part is it's using a leaked key.
Nice.
The cert was signed with a leaked key, so I can intercept everything.
Right.
Anyway,
I don't
sorry,
mean
go
to
on.
interrupt. I have like a small thing that I have to go do. Like, AK, I'm going to work. So
You're going to work?
yeah, I don't know if you just noticed I was on the phone, but that was someone
Yeah,
from
we did
facilities. Yeah, so I gotta go.
Facilities?
I'm a manager.
You are not a man.
You're not a manager.
Did
Just
you
a
clog a
terrible-
toilet and they're making you decide to plunge it? Like,
You're not a
No.
manager. You're just a terrible person.
No, my cooling is no longer functioning at the moment, so I'm gonna go.
Okay.
well,
Okay.
bye.
But it's been real.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I love ruining this podcast.
You're very good at it.
Oh, we love. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I had the same thought. That's really the basis of it is these devices don't generate their own keys.
Right. No, they don't. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
they sh-
even
they
it's
should
even
with-
is the outline that they have here seems to suggest that there's only one key pair, and
Yeah.
there's a copy of the same public key on every single device.
Right, which makes sense.
Right.
That part I
all
get.
fine, but it's all then, that's the public key, and the private key is then kept in a secret vault or whatever.
Mhm.
And that vault is only open when they receive a lawful request, which is the other part of this problem here, which is, a couple of years ago, or, well, a bit more than that, like 10 years ago, saying that, only in the case of lawful court order, most people would feel largely okay about that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is that now we know just how many things fall under the umbrella of lawful order that don't involve any sort of real scrutiny. National security letters and FISA warrants and various other things that routinely get rubber stamped by secret courts, where the actual people being affected by it have no chance to actually argue the case for their own privacy.
I mean, hell, Beast and Prism alone and all that.
Right. I mean, those are based on FISA warrants, at least in part.
Supposedly, yeah.
Right.
On paper.
Right. And so, I mean, right there, it's just, but the fact that since the Patriot Act passed in 2001, enabling the FBI to get all manner of records from various organizations with a legal order that they themselves write and approve, with no actual court oversight. That still is a lawful order the way the law works in the U.S. until they pass a new law to get rid of that. That still constitutes a lawful order. So I mean, they break this down into this really awful 4-step process. Step 1: obtain warrant for locked encrypted phone that is evidence in a criminal investigation. Okay, except that like 90% of the scenarios that law enforcement officials like to trot out are almost always exigent circumstances that require them to where the urgency is such that they don't have time to justify a warrant. They can't wait because it's a kidnapping investigation and they have to track the person before something terrible can happen, or there's a bomb about to go off in an hour or whatever. So, okay, right there, step 1, that assumes a lot about our legal system. And also assumes that our legal system functions and is sufficiently adversarial as to protect the privacy interests of someone other than the government. Somehow that then, with no clear connection, step 2 is access special screen that generates a QR code containing an encrypted PIN. I've got no idea. I mean, if the phone is locked, how do they open this application? I mean, I'm not really clear what the user interface is going to be for this. I don't know. Step 3, send picture of QR code to the phone's manufacturer, which confirms the warrant is legal. So,
I mean, they know the warrant is legal. Somebody took a photo of the thing, that means
part of it might just be that this is really poorly worded or written.
I hope so.
So that it's ambiguous.
QR is just basically Visual Base 64. There's no cryptographic integrity.
Well, so they're saying that the PIN, so the data that is being expressed by the QR code is encrypted, which I suppose is fair. That I don't have any qualms about. But like, getting to this
The point about what type of barcode they or visual encoding they're using to transmit it is neither here nor there. I want to know, one, either depending on how you interpret the comma halfway through that sentence.
Pesky commas.
Send picture of QR code to the phone's manufacturer, comma, which confirms the warrant is legal. Either that comma is indicating that the manufacturer independently confirms that the warrant is legal, or the comma is indicating that the process of sending a picture of a QR code to the manufacturer confirms that the warrant is legal.
Yeah,
like the QR generated on the warrant.
Right, I'm not really sure. Either way, this doesn't really make sense.
I mean, you don't even need to have a QR code to take a photo of it. It could just spit out a bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it's really doing. It's encoding numbers as a barcode.
The point of the QR code of using a QR code is that
you can't fat finger it or type the right thing.
It is relatively dense, and it is specifically designed to withstand a certain amount of
data
image
loss.
compression and
I just figured it was for OCR.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see how sending a picture of a QR code to the phone's manufacturer confirms that warrant is legal.
Right.
And I don't necessarily see any way that's going to keep people out from... So from the lock screen, there's some way to get to the phone.
Right.
To tell it, like, to give it that information about what that encrypted PIN is. Which isn't necessarily a problem so much, because it's like having an encrypted email, right? You can't do anything with it without the private key, theoretically, unless they use really crap encryption. But, like, what's necessarily stopping somebody from, getting that QR code and then either getting some malicious insider for some reason would have access to the HSM to do the decryption.
Right, so you're jumping ahead to step 4.
Yeah.
Which is that the manufacturer then uses the information from the QR code and their copy of their private key to decrypt the PIN and transmit that to the investigators, who are then able to unlock the phone. What is not in that little bullet point process is that at least one part of the specific implementation that the creator of this protocol is suggesting is that there be some sort of special chip in the phone that when this process is used, it blows the chip and basically turns that phone into a read-only device.
Yeah. I mean, that part makes sense, kind of.
Right.
In theory, that makes sense. Because then you don't have, they unlock my phone legally and then put some shit in there, fuzz sometimes, and then you're the fall guy.
Forensically, that makes sense, because what you want is a static, non-corruptible image. Also, it does at least do something to address the concern about using that as a backdoor to ongoing surveillance. On the other hand, since those devices will usually contain a shit ton of stored passwords and account information, that easily enables
you get a warrant for the phone and it gives you access to literally everything else.
Right. I mean, not only the data that is stored on the phone, which is now historical, but also the stored account information, which does enable a certain amount
which
of
doesn't have the chip.
ongoing surveillance.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I feel like
And then there's just this whole fact that it's still depending on split key cryptography, which split key cryptography in and of itself is fine. Nothing really wrong with it.
So when you encrypt your phone to begin with, when it boots, like, what does it use to actually encrypt the data on your phone? Does it use a public-private key pair, or does it do symmetric cryptography, or what? How does that normally work? I'm not familiar with phone encryption.
Off the top of my head, I do not recall exactly. My recollection is that at least in some cases, it uses the password or PIN provided by the owner or the user as the seed.
As the seed. Okay. But so like it unlocks with the PIN, right?
Right.
So what, forensically speaking, would be to stop you from getting a second iPhone, making an image of the encrypted, like everything on the encrypted disk, restoring it, and then just brute forcing that second phone? And if you run out of whatever, like a PIN's only probably going to be 4 digits, probably. That's not a very large key space.
I mean, with this system, they're saying PIN. It doesn't necessarily have to be the traditional. I mean,
no, but I mean, like in normal phones as of today.
Oh yeah.
Like so, for the example they use at the beginning of this article is the San Bernardino shooting.
Right.
Right. And they got into that phone, if I'm not mistaken, without needing Apple to get around it.
Well, because they bought what's that device, the gray box or whatever?
I don't know.
It was something like that. It used some sort of hardware flaw or hardware exploit.
Yeah.
From what I recall. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a device out there that has been purchased by a number of government agencies. It was not publicly known until a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I think
it's pretty.
When it got referenced in a public filing by the State Department that wanted to buy a whole bunch of them for some reason.
The State Department?
Yeah, the U.S. Department of State. Not quite sure why they wanted a whole bunch of these things, but they did.
That doesn't make any sense. They don't have any reason to have forensic access to, like, iPhones.
I mean, they do.
The State Department?
Yeah, they run diplomatic security.
So they needed to access their own phones?
They are responsible for running the diplomatic security service and various other things. So they do occasionally need some sort of investigative capacity.
But they needed enough where they need to buy it themselves as opposed to shopping that out to the FBI?
I don't know. All I know is they wanted to buy a whole bunch of them, and that showed up in a regulatory filing.
Nice.
I know that the FBI originally botched the San Bernardino thing. Apple was very willing to give them access, not to the device, because I don't think they were still pretty insistent that the...
Right. No, it was
that it was unbreakable.
Was happy to provide them access to.
iCloud, wasn't it?
It was the iCloud backups, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there actually was a process that Apple had for that model that did allow them to unlock it for law enforcement, as long as
the password wasn't reset.
Oh no. As long as the phone had not been turned off.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because as long as it had been as long as it was still turned on, it would have an active session to iCloud or whatever that would allow Apple to then reset the password on their end and allow the investigators to just set a new password so that they could get into the phone or something.
I
knew it was something
One of
with
the
password.
investigators deliberately decided to turn the phone off and reset it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted an excuse.
Right. And so when Greybox or whatever this device is came along and they bought it, a bunch of people at the FBI were actually really angry with the people who bought the thing because they had wanted San Bernardino as a test case to get the court to give them a mandate for extraordinary access.
Yeah. And I always feel like such a tinfoil hatter when I say that like I don't see how it could be any other way. Like the FBI isn't that incompetent.
No, they're
and there have been enough leaks of internal communications and things that made it very, very clear that that's what they had wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, so, like, that's kind of the thing, is that, like, a lot of stuff, you say it, and you're like, oh, man, it feels very tinfoil hat, but, like, that's kind of the world that we live in right now.
Yeah.
Like, you look at, like, the NSA leaks and stuff, and you're just like...
Well, I mean, it's
like,
it's the world that we've lived in since J. Edgar Hoover.
I mean, yes.
It's just that...
In increasing exponentiality, I would say.
Yes,
yeah.
Well, because J. Edgar Hoover could only tap everyone's phone.
Right.
Back when only like 60% of the country had a telephone, and it was owned by a single company, and it was in a fixed place in their house.
Yep.
Yeah.
As opposed to these days where it was like, oh, let's just put like a microphone array on the kitchen counter and one in the bedroom.
The population
and they
has
get to play music
one of these devices and carries it on their person at almost all times. And where that telephone now not only makes telephone calls, but contains all manner of other sensory hardware so that it can read wide variety of...
What are you listening to? What are you looking at?
What?
Are you taking a shit?
What
What is your
I'm
face doing
dumbfounded
right
about
now?
Do you remember the uproar when smart TVs were doing this?
Oh yeah.
When the microphone was just always active, and there
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge uproar from there was an outcry from the general public.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, maybe they're finally starting to get concerned about this.
Nope.
And then here we are now, where they're actually willfully, knowingly getting these things and putting them in their home, and then making memes about it. Like, it's not like it just blows my mind. I'm speechless about it. Like, how did we go from that to this? It seems like it's riding in waves. I don't know. What happened between those points?
I think the best part about the TV thing is I think it was Samsung had legitimately in their like terms of use. It was just like it had a warning. It was like, don't talk about your bank details.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything personal, don't do that. We don't.
Just don't talk about
liable.
it.
Just don't.
Television.
Yeah, don't have like arguments about finances in front of the TV while you're watching Fox News. Don't do that. That's not safe.
But just the fact that they didn't do that until they put that in like the fine print, like 20 pages into their
Of course.
EULA.
Nobody's gonna read it. Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what was it? Someone actually did a study where it was like a person would have to do nothing but read end user license agreements 1 month out of every year.
If they actually read them, that sounds about right.
To actually keep up with all of the license agreements that people are expected to agree to. Because damn near everything has one of those now.
Well, the name of the
This-
game
I
is
won't
CIA.
bang potato chips. Well, better stop, sit down for 2 hours, and read through this license agreement
Yeah.
before I
I'm
open
glad
the
that we
bag.
haven't gotten there, but for chips, there was they used to sell them at work, and they had like stories on them. It's like multi-paragraph stories in the back of the bag of chips, and it's like, why?
What?
You have something
Why?
to read on the toilet.
Yeah,
Who eats potato
Who
chips
eats-
on the toilet?
exactly.
No,
Who eats
it's
anything on the toilet? That is not a
it's-
place where you have
the
food.
chips. And you fold the bag up and you stick it in your pocket.
Oh, for later.
Yeah.
Because cell phones aren't a thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would have made a lot more sense before cell phones.
I don't know about a lot more sense. I feel like that's what
No.
magazines
Look,
and newspapers.
Think about it. Think about
No,
it.
that was what the back of the shampoo bottles were for, my friend.
Or that too.
Right, because you guys weren't working back then.
True.
In what way?
If you're
Oh,
in an
for
office
work?
environment,
Yeah.
there isn't a bottle of shampoo for you to read.
Well, that's the
It
great
was
thing
the-
about smartphones is you can take the bottle, a photo of the back of the bottle of
Right.
shampoo with you at work while you take a shit.
I feel like it'd be
The
kind
future is now, friends.
Okay. But wait, potato bag, they crinkle. So like you're walking to the bathroom and your back pocket's crinkling as you walk. That's not weird?
I mean, the whole scenario is weird, man. Come on. You've stored a
Reading
bag of potato,
bag
empty
on the-
bag of
And what do you
potatoes.
like? How do you gracefully exit that situation? Do you just throw the potato chip bag out in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Because that's gonna raise some questions. People are gonna think you were eating
Hey,
while
man,
you
it
were
was
on
snack time, let me tell you.
and then you're back to point one.
You don't eat in the toilet. It's true.
You don't eat on the toilet. Exactly.
Don't tell John Hamm that.
I mean, it's the world. Like, people
No,
have, like, the...
no. Did you not see like one of the last good Saturday Night Live episodes?
No.
Years ago, they had John Hamm.
Beaches just says no.
They had John Hamm as the guest host,
It's like one of the last good episodes now.
and they had
That's my bedtime, man.
commercial for a product called John Hamm's John Ham.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Individual ham slices in a dispenser,
Oh no.
so you
my
could eat
God.
ham on the toilet.
Why?
Oh, my God.
Why would anyone?
I don't know why, but it's funny.
It is funny. Probably because nobody in their right mind would do that.
Yeah.
It's so,
Oh yes.
Ugh.
Nothing quite like toilet ham, let me... It really helps loosen things up, because you'll get food poisoning and then diarrhea.
I don't think that. I'm pretty sure a regular old laxative would maybe do the job a little bit more effectively than waiting for food poisoning to take hold.
Sure, but then you don't get to eat toilet ham.
I'm okay with missing out on toilet ham. Ugh.
Well, you're lost, man.
I guess so. I'll never know the joys of toilet ham. Oh my gosh. How long have you been recording, Beaches?
I don't know. I had to stop recording and then start recording again.
So,
What?
because
Well,
you
'cause
lost
I got
connection.
disconnected,
Oh,
so
right.
I stopped recording. So I'm
Right.
gonna have to go and open shot and like edit this episode together, which is, I'm gonna be honest, like much more intense than what I normally do for these episodes,
Mm.
which is fuck all. I
Right.
had stopped
I mean-
recording,
right.
dragged the file up to like double click. I was like, yeah,
I mean,
the
I-
audio's okay. Boom.
I mean, I always get really confused when people comment on my YouTube videos claiming that, like, it would have been great if you hadn't edited this together. I'm like, what are you talking about?
One shot, man. One shot.
I may do a couple of takes, but it's one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have video editing software.
If you want it, OpenShot's not. It's not bad.
No,
No,
I don't want to deal with it.
that's fair.
I've done video editing. I've done audio editing. I've done post production for both. I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it? Okay.
Yeah, I
wanna
do
do
a
it.
little bit of post prod for my podcast, but I
do-
hired an editor.
I
for the rest.
I don't want to deal with it.
That's, I mean, I don't.
It's
disagree
such a
with
pain
you.
in the ass.
I
If-
just threw together my actual
I-
first
if
edited
I-
YouTube video.
If I can't do a video without needing to edit it,
You don't want to do it.
I'll not do the video.
That's fair.
Not gonna do it. Want to be prudent. 1,000 points a lot. Stay laser focused.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I hear you. The only video editing I've done was for my PumpCon talk, and that was for a demo video. All I had to do was just like resize it and crop it out and cut out some dead air, and that was I used what's it called, Cinelera? for
yeah, Statler.
that? And that was okay. Like it took me a little bit of reading to figure it out because I haven't edited any video at all before that,
Yeah.
but it's not something I would want to spend more than 15 minutes on.
Well, so yeah, so Statler is like super powerful in comparison to like what you apparently needed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was totally. It was just the.
It's like overkill.
I did it. I know that, but I'm on Linux, so I needed something that was cross-platform and ideally free because I'm not going to shell out even like $10 for something I need to do just once.
Yeah. Well, that was what I chose OpenShot mostly because it was the first thing that came up on Google. But and also, like I've known about Statler for a while, and it seems very intense and something that I would probably want to eventually get into, but not for doing the stuff that I currently do now, if that makes sense.
Right. The hardest part, the documentation's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the hardest part for me was finding which fork I wanted to use because there's like
Oh my
3
God.
actively maintained forks of it.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even remember which one I went with.
So, Brent.
Yes.
I think after Hope, I might float the idea of switching away from doing a video podcast to an audio. If everybody else would be cool with that.
It's definitely easier on bandwidth, I'll tell you that.
Well, bandwidth would be easier. I could more comfortably edit things because, like, right now, if I
It's
wanted
just
to
one
remove
media
something,
source. Yeah.
well, I mean, it's one media source, but also, like, if I were to cut out like 5 minutes, people's faces would do weird things and
Right.
stuff.
It's
and
blatantly obvious.
it's very obvious that I just removed some stuff, or sped it up, or slowed it down, or. Wow,
Bezos is part of the deep state.
Well, yeah.
I no longer have a government job. It's fine.
I was kidding. I was referring to like the cutting out of content, but
Oh, well, no. But
So,
that might be
secret
something
plots.
that I'll want to pick your brain about at some point.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, sure thing. Jathan and I are planning on writing a Flask app to serve podcasts. So,
okay.
hopefully that'll make the whole process a lot easier too.
So I
mean,
wait.
really, if you, well, it'll probably come pretty soon. But really, the biggest pain about that is finding hosting space for the audio files themselves.
Well, boy,
And-
howdy. I don't think
And,
we have that problem.
and XML. I love XML personally, but a lot of people find it hard to.
I
get
like
comfortable with
XML.
it.
I appreciate XML, especially if you try using XML parsers for XML as opposed to trying to
Yes.
use RegEx.
I feel like that's most people's problems is they're not using an actual
You
proper
can't
parser.
do any XML with regular expressions. That doesn't work. Just use a
Yeah.
fucking parser like a normal person. It's a library. You just include it. It's real easy, I promise. It's
Yeah.
so easy. Microsoft has implemented like at least 2 of those motherfuckers on Windows right this second.
Yeah,
At least 2.
I'm loving Python's LXML, honestly. But I think even in Python's standard lib, there's a
Salgo
E-tree, I think.
No, let me just.
I think, or maybe it's the HTML module that you can use to parse XML.
Here we go.
It's all SGML, anyways. Whatever.
I'm gonna link something, and then I'm gonna read something, and then we're gonna end the podcast.
Okay.
StackOverflow.com. Questions 1732348. Regex match open tags accept xhtml self contained tags. I need to match all these opening tags. Open angle bracket P, close angle bracket A, space href equals foo, close bracket. But not these.
Good
Open angle
fucking luck.
bracket BR space / close angle bracket. Open angle bracket HR class equals foo / close angle bracket. I came up with
so
this
he needs
and
to,
wanted to make sure
he needs
I
to
got it
match
right.
on an attribute?
Wait.
He wants to match.
He wants to match.
opening tags, but not self-opening and closing tags.
Oh, not self. Not
So if you do
enclosure.
BR
Oh my God.
/ that's an opening. There's no matching tag for that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Same with HR class
Wow.
equals food blah. So he came up with this regex. He wants to make sure he's right. He's only capturing the A through Z. He believes it says find a less than, then find and capture A through Z one or more times, and then find 0 or more spaces, then find any character 0 or more times greedy, except for /, and then find it greater than. Do I have that right? And more importantly, what do you think?
I think this is stupid.
Top
I can say
answer.
what I think, but I get blocked from Stack Overflow.
Top
Yes.
answer. 4,424 upvotes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Green check mark. Accepted answer.
Mm-hmm.
You can't parse HTML with regex. Because HTML can't be parsed by regex. Regex is not a tool that can be used to correctly parse HTML. As I have answered in HTML and regex expressions, regex questions here so many times before, the use of regex will not allow you to consume HTML. Regular expressions are a tool that is insufficiently sophisticated to understand the constructs employed by HTML. HTML is not a regular language, and hence cannot be parsed by regular expressions.
I don't know what he means by that, but
Regex queries are not equipped to break down HTML into its meaningful parts. So many times, but it is not getting to me. Even enhanced regular expressions, as used by Perl, are not up to the task of parsing HTML.
if you can't use Perl regex to do what you want, you're fucked.
You will never make me crack.
What?
HTML is a language of sufficient complexity that it cannot be parsed by regular expressions. Even John Skeet cannot parse HTML using regular expressions.
Stop it.
Every time you attempt to parse HTML with regular expressions, the unholy child weeps the blood of virgins, and Russian hackers pwn your web app.
Finally, something that makes sense.
Parsing HTML with regex summons tainted souls into the realm of the living. HTML
He's not wrong.
and regex go together like love, marriage, and ritual infanticide.
And wait, back up. What? And virtual infanticide?
HTML and regex go together like love, marriage, and ritual infanticide.
Ritual.
The center cannot hold, it is too late. The force of regex and HTML together in the same conceptual space will destroy your mind like so much watery putty. If you parse HTML with regex, you are giving it to them and their blasphemous ways, which doom us all to inhuman toil for the one whose name cannot be expressed in the basic multilingual plane he comes.
Oh my gosh.
HTML plus regex
Zalgo
will liquefy the nerves of the sentient whilst you observe your psyche withering in the onslaught of horror. Regex,
you okay there? you're slipping into like Sorry, keep going.
regex-based HTML parsers are the cancer that is killing Stack Overflow. It is too late, we cannot be saved. The transgression of a child ensures regex will consume all living tissue, except for HTML, which it cannot, as previously prophesied. Dear Lord, help us, how can anyone survive this scourge? Using regex to parse HTML has doomed humanity to an eternity of dread torture and security holes.
This is all one answer?
Using regex as a tool to process HTML establishes a breach between this world and the dread realm of corrupt entities, like SGML entities, but more corrupt. A mere glimpse of the world of regex parsers for HTML will instantly transport a programmer's consciousness into the world of ceaseless screaming. He comes. The pestilent, slithery regex infection will devour your HTML parser. Application in existence for all time, like Visual Basic, only worse. He comes, comes. Do not fight,
You're slipping into like a mix between Carl Sagan and like the guy who narrated Half-Life Full Life Consequences.
His unholy radiance, destroying all enlightenment. HTML tags
He goes right back to
from your eyes like liquid pain. The song of regular expression parsing will extinguish the voices of mortal men from the sphere I can see. Can you see it? It is beautiful. The final snuffing of the lies of men. All is lost. All is lost. The pony, he comes. The ichor permeates all my face. Oh God, oh no, stop the end. Angles are not real. Salgo is Tony the pony. He comes.
HTML and regex are an unstoppable force and an immovable object.
Have you tried using an XML parser instead?
Wait, that's how he ends it? Bravo.
Moderators
Bravo.
note. This post is locked to prevent inappropriate edits to its content. The post looks exactly as it is supposed to look. There are no problems with its content. Please do not flag it for our attention.
I just love that they had a mod note it. Oh. I really hope you... Oh yeah, you did link it. Okay.
I did link it. I linked it. I got your back. I have like 2 Stack Overflow stars or bookmarks. I have that one, and then why does man print gimme at 00?
Yeah. I just found out about that recently. And I was like, that is an amazing Easter egg, and fuck the guy that complained, frankly.
Well,
because of your test cases. No, he had bad test cases.
He had.
I won't back down from that.
He had bad test cases, but in fairness, the guy also went and made a workaround so that you would still have the Easter egg, and also these dumb test cases would work. But he didn't get rid of the Easter egg, which is the important aspect.
Oh, I thought he removed it.
No.
Good.
We've noticed that some of our automatic tests fail when they run at 0030, but work fine the rest of the day. They fail with the message gimme, and standard error, which wasn't expected. Why are we getting this output? Top answer, dear Dear Kolma Kuayit. I don't know how to say that.
Because I made it that way.
I think that if you type man at 0001 hours, it should print gimme, gimme, gimme. Hashtag ABBA. That was my fault. I suggested it. Sorry. Pretty much the whole story is in the commit. The maintainer of man is a good friend of mine, and one day 6 years ago, I jokingly said to him that if you invoke man after midnight, it should print gimme, 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 because of the ABBA song called Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight. And, well, he did actually put it in. A few people were amused to discover it, and most forgot about it until today. I can't speak for Cole, obviously, but I didn't expect this to ever cause any problems. What sort of test would break on parsing the output of man with no page specified? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that one turned up eventually, but it did take 6 years. The commit message calls me Thomas, which is my legal first name, though I don't use it online much. This issue has been fixed with commit 84BDE8. Running man with man-w will no longer trigger this Easter egg.
No, Brent, it is not possible to use regex to parse that answer.
No, that's an actual comment on the answer that that Beach just read.
Well, it's also not possible to use regex to parse that.
Well, it's
not structured data, Brent.
It is if you use an HTML parser first. That's the important part. Just throw through beautiful soup, grab the dot text, and you're on your way. Regex that. Don't.
Oh. You're right, actually. After some reflection, I've removed this Easter egg. It'll be gone in the upcoming ManDB 2.8.0. So, don't update your man versions, people. Don't do it.
Damn it.
Too late.
And then, of course, linked as a comment to that is XKCD1172.
Oh, yeah, it was the expected feature of the bug.
Changes in versions 10.17. The CPU no longer overheats when you hold down spacebar. Longtime user 4 writes, "This update broke my workflow. The control key is hard to reach, so I hold spacebar instead, and I configured Emacs to interpret a rapid temperature rise as control." Admin writes, "That's horrifying." Longtime user 4 writes, "Look, my setup works for me. Just add an option to re-enable spacebar heating."
Spacebar heating.
The alt text is beautiful. There are probably children out there holding down spacebar to stay warm in the winter. Your update murders children.
Your update murders children. If there's ever a vuln for man, I really hope they call it running man.
If they're gonna name it, they would have to, yeah. Or
because
marathon.
that's
or
the
marathon
thing you do. Yeah, or marathon man. That's well, marathon man would be the new vuln after the failed patch. They released the patch to fix the vuln, and then that introduces an even more serious vuln.
Oh,
and
well.
that result, right?
But those are
that's how these things work, apparently.
no, but Marathon Man came out first.
True.
Marathon Man was the Dustin Hoffman spy thriller,
Yeah.
and Running Man was the later Schwarzenegger dystopian action movie.
I was thinking of like the early '90s dance move. I had forgotten.
That's also even later.
Running Man. That is later. Yeah. That is still later.
Either way, Marathon Man comes before Running Man.
Although apparently now there was like last year there was another Running Man that had nothing to do with it was a dance, but it had nothing to do with the '90s dance under the sun.
Well, that's just silly.
I was immensely confused. Yeah. I was like, that's not the Running Man. What are you doing?
I mean, these days everything confuses me because I actually remember things that happened before 1993.
Hey man,
I remember not having a remote control and one TV.
And frankly, apparently these days most people don't even remember things that happened before 2005.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
or whenever the hell the iPhone came out.
Yeah.
2007, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there was never anything that looked remotely like the iPhone.
I have had that conversation with people
My-
before.
my
Let me tell
My box full of not quite dead yet Palm Pilots would disagree.
I found. I still have a Zyre 71 that I found.
Ugh.
Oh, hold on. Oh, wait. I have it right here. In a zip top
Somewhere-
baggie.
somewhere I
Zyre
still have-
71. It still
Nice.
turns on.
Nice. Somewhere I still have my my TX. Holy shit.
Does it? It still turns on.
Yeah. No, I can see.
That is-
Let's
that is-
see. Actually, I should
Convinced
check
by
and
the
see if my old Treo still turns on.
Oh, hey.
I had a Vizio at one point. I don't know what happened to it.
Does anybody still
I didn't
need
have
zip
much
disks?
use for it.
No, I finally got my last consulting client off of those.
Oh,
Oh,
finally.
here we go. That's what I need in my life.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
I actually had a client who was still on zip disks up until
Oh, it is a WRT54G.
is it a
yeah,
G
you
or
just
GL?
need to put the antennas on.
It's literally a G. Oh, it has the antennas.
Oh, it's first rev.
Yeah. No, I got
Kicked off the.
I had like
That
five,
is-
I had
there
like
you
5
go.
of those.
I did too, and then I couldn't find it anymore, and I needed like a really bare bones model for testing
Version
DWRT and OpenWRT shit.
Mm.
So I got a 54GL. But
Replaced with this.
Ugh.
oh yeah, those.
Ugh.
Oh, come on. That thing was sexy and you know it.
They looked very
It's-
nice. They
it's
did not
weird.
work terribly well.
Yeah, there's that. It's weird to
Model
think back.
surfboard?
Yep.
Um,
Ooh, here you go. That's what you need.
yeah. Oh gosh,
Ugh.
bringing me back.
No, take it away.
It's weird to think back about how my home network was set up before Ubiquity was a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo, I think, a bunch of stuff. Ooh, here you go. That's what you need.
Speeches.
Actually, I do need a new video card.
I don't think that.
Do you
that
want an
is-
8800 Ultra? Because I just found one
No.
in my closet.
No, I need something newer than what I have
You
now.
could.
What do you have
could.
now?
Radeon. Hold on. How,
You can play
how do
Quake
I have
World.
that many Chrome windows open?
You can play Doom 2 with me.
Radeon HD 5800.
Oh, also. Boom.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
yeah, so that one. Wait, is that black and white or color?
Photo. Before video.
Oh, shit.
Mine is older.
I don't doubt that.
Mine also was not made by Apple,
Fucking
but it is
what?
made. But it is an iPod.
What the fuck did you do?
Oh no! Before the photo or the color, when all of the iPods made by Apple were Mac only,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apple licensed the hardware design to HP to
Oh,
produce
right.
a PC compatible.
Oh
Yeah.
my
iPod.
god.
That is the only one that I have.
The only one not made by Apple is, of course,
Yes.
the one that you have.
Right, because I adamantly refuse to buy any Apple hardware made after the
Oh, guys, I fucked up.
introduction of the Macintosh.
What, Beaches?
I plugged in the iPod and it turned on, and now it has a screen that says "Do not disconnect." And Windows is oh my god. It's mounted it as mounted it as a file system, guys.
What do?
Yeah. What photos do I even have on here? Just one
Something
file
there.
that says photo database. That sounds
I'm
good.
guessing a lot of goatsy.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Really?
iPod created
I feel like-
instructions.vcf.
VCF.
Yeah, man, virtual card file, vcard
Yep.
file.
Oh yeah, vcard files.
And remember when that was the future?
bootx.log. Notes, instructions. Not instructions.txt, just instructions.
Mhm.
Well, of course.
Edit with Notepad++. Come on, Notepad. What do you got? Oh my god, it's just the words instructions with surrounded in angle brackets.
So it's an any.
Like, it's legitimately just here.
I mean, an empty any, but at least it has a section.
No, it's not even an INI.
Nope. It's
that brings us to
that's
a philosophical. Oh, angle brackets. Not
Yeah,
square
it is
brackets.
literally just the
Right.
word instructions
in angle brackets.
in angle brackets.
Huh.
Alright, how do I want to disconnect this.
You can't.
Can I parse that
Peaches,
with RegEx?
Beaches.
Yeah.
You have to go into the taskbar and unmount the device.
Oh my god, I kind of forgot that was a thing.
Oh god, how many failed external device writes have you had?
Like none?
Are you running Windows 10?
So the reason why I don't have any is because usually I'm not actually writing anything on USB.
Okay, that's a better reason. Yeah.
That makes
That
sense.
makes like way more sense, right?
No, because Windows is really, really bad about closing write sessions
Yeah. No, I agree.
unless you manually eject the device.
Alright, let's see what music's on here. That is a
Why?
weird mix.
No, Beaches.
I can't play it for you.
Good.
But you can read off the titles.
Alright,
Oh, damn it, we were going to end.
A tisket, a tasket.
Oh right.
Bitches
We were going
get
to end.
stitches.
I was going to go back to playing BattleTech, which is actually much more
Fine.
preferable than...
What, been listening to me yammer on about song titles?
Yes.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna yammer on about some song titles.
Well, then I'm just going
And
to talk
thus
about how
ends
I
the Radio
discovered
Statler
soy sauce in
podcast.
this lock and fixed it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit stop recording.
It's actually a
now.
much, much shorter topic.
Thank you for joining, and I'm sorry.
I'm almost sorry.
Yeah.
And